Premier League Matchweek 25 is going to be a fantastic week for Premier League football because we've got games like the Merseyside derby coming up, which this time around, absolutely anyone can win it. Aston Villa versus Leicester City, Manchester City versus Arsenal, and a bunch of other really exciting games this Premier League Matchweek, which of course in today's video, I'll be discussing and giving my predictions for every single game in Premier League Matchweek 25. And if that sounds good to you and you do enjoy regular football content, please do consider subscribing down below so that you can see more of my content in the future. And along with that, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I really feel like we can hit it within the next few months. It is of course my goal on YouTube to hit 1,000 subscribers. So of course I would really appreciate the support. Every single subscriber does count, it does matter. So please consider doing so if you do enjoy my content and want to see me more often. But getting into my predictions, game number 1 of Premier League Matchweek 25, Wolves versus Leeds United. Now, I will say this for probably the first time in my predictions, but Wolves as of late without Jimenez, they've actually looked pretty good in their last 3 games. They've beaten Southampton, drew to Leicester, beat Arsenal. They're not looking bad without their main talisman. Where if you look at Leeds United, yes, I know they've got this brand of really exciting attacking football, but 4-2 versus Arsenal, it doesn't matter how good your attack is if your defense is shocking. They just gave away really stupid fouls. They gave away really stupid penalties. Defensively, they are just all over the place, which versus a team like Wolves could really cost them. And I'll say this, I think Leeds United would be better off if their centre-back partnership was Bielsa and his cooler box. Defensively, they are that shocking. As I said, attacking-wise, they're okay, but it really doesn't matter if the whole system isn't working. I'm going to have to give Wolves, because of their form, I am going to have to give them the win in this. Player to watch is probably going to be Neto, because he's done really well up front for Wolves, and I think he'll do it again in a game like this. Now, game number 2, on the other hand, is one of those games that my prediction would have been totally different about a month ago. Southampton versus Chelsea, and Southampton, I'm sorry, things have just fallen apart for you. I am going to have to give Chelsea a 2-0 win because Southampton have lost their last 6 games in a row. In those 6 games, they've only scored 5 goals, so attacking-wise, they've really fallen apart. They are not there. And defensively, 6 games, conceded 20 goals. That is horrible, especially going against a team like Chelsea with a really good attack. And yes, I know Southampton conceded 9 goals versus Manchester United, but let's say that game just vanished, right? That would still be 11 goals in 6 games, which is still really bad. So Southampton really not there at the moment, where Chelsea, attacking wise, they are there. They've only conceded 1 goal in their last 4 games, and ever since Thomas Tuchel has been at Chelsea, this Chelsea team is looking more confident. So don't know about you, bad defensive team, good attacking team. I know who I would go for. I am going to have to go for Chelsea with the win in this. With my player to watch, very tricky, but I am going to go for Timo Werner. Not just because he scored in his previous game after who knows how long, but because I feel like under Thomas Tuchel, he's got the right confidence, and I think the numbers will eventually start to roll in. Now, game number 3 of Premier League Matchweek 25 is going to be Burnley versus West Brom. Now, Burnley recently got a 3-0 win versus Crystal Palace, which is very good. I think Burnley has a lot of potential in them. Obviously, defensively, they are known to be very strong, and versus West Brom, I think Ben Mee should be back in defense. Obviously, he picked up an injury a tiny while ago. Burnley as a whole has really picked up as a team in terms of attacking ability, defensive ability, but you know what, I don't know if they're actually going to get the result versus West Brom, because as of late, West Brom have also had very promising results. Obviously versus Manchester United, they did look very strong overall, and Diane, their brand new striker, is actually looking very strong. I mean, I guess it's easy to score a goal if you put your hands over your opponent's eyes, but other than that, they actually have a decent strike at the moment. Defensively, they seem to have somewhat picked up versus Manchester United, and even Big Sam himself said that he's looking to turn things around for West Brom starting at that Manchester United game. Now, versus Burnley, I can definitely see them getting a point. I think it will be a 1-1 draw. And I'm just saying that purely because, guys, please vote in the comment section down below. If this game ends in a draw, I would gladly watch Sean Dyche and Big Sam enter a boxing match. That's how I think this match should be decided. I would happily watch that over the game itself. I don't know about you, but I would watch Daesh versus Sam in the ring. Game number 4 is the game that lots of us are probably waiting for, as it is going to be the Merseyside derby, famous in the English Premier League, Liverpool versus Everton. And this time around, as I said early on in the video, it's the first time in a very long time where it could genuinely go either way. Obviously, Everton have got some really good players in their team this season, and Liverpool obviously have been shocking in the Premier League so far this year. They are not looking good, only 2 wins in their last 10 Premier League games, but it's very unpredictable because in a fixture like this, with a rivalry like this in the Merseyside derby, both teams will give it their all, and because both teams are going to give it their all, I am going to make it a 1-1 draw. Everton have not won this fixture since 2010, I think, but this is the year, if they want to win it, that this is going to be the year where they could win it. But once again, games like that 2-0 loss versus Fulham or that 3-1 loss versus Manchester City, I don't know, Everton still really have to pick up in terms of their attacking form. So you know what, with both teams' forms, I'm going to put it down as a draw, which I did put a poll on Reddit for people to vote on the Premier League page on who they think is going to win the Merseyside derby. Someone genuinely put down in the comment section, I can't remember word for word what it said, but they said the winner definitely won't be the team that lost 2-0 to Fulham. What about the team that just lost 3-1 to Leicester City? I swear, the only thing I don't like about football is the fans. Game number 5 of Premier League Matchweek 25 is going to be between Fulham and Sheffield United. Now, of course, this is going to be a really big game in the context of things because both teams are in a relegation battle, and unfortunately for Sheffield United, I think that they are going to go down this Premier League season. I think they will be rock bottom, and I think Fulham will end up winning this fixture. Fulham have had some fantastic performances this Premier League season. They've gotten a lot of draws, and as I've been saying, all they really need to stay up is 1 or 2 really big wins. Now, of course, a 2-0 win versus Everton, that is a really, really big win. Of course, 3 points, very crucial for Fulham. Fulham actually have looked decent this Premier League season, where Sheffield United, I think Chris Wilder has done something special with Sheffield United to get them as far as they have gone. But this Premier League season, although they've had very good moments, unfortunately, defensively, I still find that they have way too many problems. But who knows, things might change now that Phil Jagielka is playing more. I think Phil Jagielka is ready for the challenge. He just needs to put on his kit, put on his boots, put in his dentures, and he'll be ready for the task. As I said, I think Sheffield United have a decent team, but Fulham by far look better this Premier League season, and that's why they will get a win. And in terms of a player to watch, once again, I have to go for Lookman up front, as he is such a promising, exciting player for Fulham this season. West Ham versus Tottenham Hotspurs, and as I said earlier this season, the first game this Premier League season between these two teams, that 3-3 draw, has to be one of my favorite, most exciting games of Premier League football I've actually ever seen. That comeback was amazing, and I know that sounds a bit odd that a game managed by Jose Mourinho was an exciting one, but jokes aside, this time around I think it'll be another close affair. I do think that there will be a winner this time around, and I do think Tottenham Hotspurs will win this game. I think, look, obviously West Ham United going into this, I think they are favourites, obviously 5th place on the Premier League table on goal difference. West Ham United are fighting for a European spot this Premier League season. They are looking very good. Antonio, their striker, should be back from injury, but Tottenham Hotspurs, it's very odd to... I don't know why I'm giving them the win. I think it's because of the quality of team overall. It depends how Jose Mourinho plays with this team this time around. If they play their normal negative football, if they start to pick things up. But I think there's pressure for Jose Mourinho now, especially after that 3-0 loss to Manchester City. I think he knows he's in trouble, and he knows he has to win this game to keep his job. 9th place in the Premier League table. He's having a mid-table battle with Arsenal. I mean, look, that's not where Jose Mourinho wants to be. I think he needs to step up his levels, and I think he'll do it versus West Ham with a narrow 1-0 win. And in terms of a player to watch, Harry Kane is probably the safe bet on this one. Now the next game, Aston Villa versus Leicester City. This could really go either way. But I am going to give it to Leicester City just because in terms of the table, they are looking very, very good. They are pretty much competing, not necessarily for the title, but for at least second spot on the Premier League table. They beat Liverpool 3-1. Jamie Vardy ages like a fine wine. He's looking spectacular. Or in Vardy's case, like a fine Red Bull. I don't know. But that attack of Leicester City this Premier League season is looking very, very good. And in terms of just results, I have to give it to Leicester City because although Aston Villa have looked good so far this season, they are too unpredictable and inconsistent with their results. Defensively, they will be hard to break down because Martinez has probably been the best goalkeeper in the league this season, but I do think that Leicester City will do it. And player to watch, probably going to be Jamie Vardy. Next up, we've got the Master versus the Apprentice. Arsenal versus Manchester City. Arteta versus Pep Guardiola. And I think this could be a very exciting game of football to watch. But at the end of the day, I am going to give Manchester City a win in this fixture. I've said this a few times this season. But Manchester City at the moment are looking like the best team in the entire world. They've won 12 Premier League games in a row. And yes, I know Arsenal are going to be confident after that 4-2 win versus Leeds United. But you know what that win did for you guys, Arsenal? It brought you to 10th place on the Premier League table. At the end of the day, Manchester City are still clear favourites. They've got a fantastic attack, midfield, defence, goalkeeper. It is all looking right for Manchester City. And I think Arsenal going into this, yes, I think that they could have a chance of maybe getting a point. But at the end of the day, I don't think that they are going to win. They haven't had a fantastic season overall. And defensively, still way too many problems. And I think the only people who think Arsenal are going to win this fixture are Arsenal fans. Saying that, I have recently heard Arsenal saying that no striker can compare to Aubameyang, who is scoring goals for fun. Yes, I know he scored a hat-trick versus Leeds United, but scoring a goal past Leeds United is nothing to brag about. It's like saying you stole candy from a baby. A baby that can't defend well in football. It's just not something to brag about. Arsenal, you still have so many things you need to work through. Aubameyang, yes, he scored a hat-trick in his recent game, but attacking-wise, he has not been informed this season. And I think Arsenal are going to struggle past Manchester City as I think it will be close, but Manchester City, with their form overall, with the quality in their team, they should win this comfortably. And in terms of a player to watch, although I would like to go for Ilkay Gundogan again, I am going to go for Phil Foden because so far this Premier League season, statistically, this is his best season ever, and we're only about 2/3 into it in terms of goals, in terms of assists, in terms of his spatial awareness on the field. Phil Foden is the man to watch. But ladies and gentlemen, from one Manchester game to another, the second last game of this Premier League match week, Manchester United versus Newcastle United. Now the last two meetings between these two teams, Manchester United have won 4-1. But as a Manchester United fan, guys, I know that that's not necessarily a given. Manchester United on any given day, it's like playing the lotto. You never know what you're going to get. Although you have more of a chance of losing, unfortunately. But Manchester United versus Newcastle United, they really should win this game. Unfortunately, attacking-wise, I think Manchester United, in their previous game versus West Brom, they were just non-existent. They would have been better if they put Ole Gunnar Solskjaer up front. Manchester United really underestimated West Brom defensively. They weren't strong enough, although, as I said, a bit controversial, but I do think it was a foul for clawing your opponent in the eyes. But at the end of the day, still really not good enough for Manchester United. They've lost a lot of points as of late. But once again, Newcastle United are kind of in that relegation mix where they are not safe this Premier League season. They have not performed well as a team. And I do think Manchester United are going to end up getting the win. And in terms of a player to watch, going to go for a new one this time. As of late, I've gone for the likes of Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, even Luke Shaw. But I'm going to say Scott McTominay because I think him winning those midfield battles will be crucial for Manchester United. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the final game of this Premier League match. Which, of course, don't forget, if you have enjoyed up until this point, please do consider hitting that subscribe button down below, as it means a lot to me, and you will not regret it. You will enjoy my content in the future. I hope. But final game is Brighton versus Crystal Palace, which a bit of an underwhelming game to end on, but I am going to give Brighton the win in this. It is kind of tricky to an extent because Crystal Palace, as I've said from time to time, attacking-wise can look brilliant as a team. Midfield-wise, they can create beautiful chances, but defensively, they are the worst team you could ever watch. A 3-0 loss to Burnley, a 2-0 loss to Leeds, defensively not there in their last 2 games, where Brighton, unbeaten in their last 6 Premier League games. They're actually starting to pick up form, and I joked about this 1 or 2 videos ago, but ever since Percy Tau moved to Brighton, they've looked pretty good. Shows some South African courage over there, Percy Tau. But obviously, jokes aside, I think Brighton are going to win this. They are in better form attacking-wise. They are there. Defensively, looking a lot more solid. A 1-0 win should suit them just fine. And in terms of the player to watch, hey, I might just go for Percy Tau. Although he hasn't scored a goal yet, he is going to win the Ballon d'Or. No, screw that. The Nobel Peace Prize for changing this team around. But you know, it's player to watch. Probably going to be Trossard. He has some beautiful chances from game to game, and I think he will be the difference maker. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today's prediction video. I hope you have enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, all those things. Can we get this video to 10 likes? 10 likes. I would really, really appreciate that. But guys, until next time, hope you enjoyed this Premier League match week. This has been Finn, FYNN. Love and appreciate every single one of you. Stay awesome. Bye.
The lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me